Hello and welcome to the Opera Student tutorial. This is the first part, modeling the first outer shell. This tutorial was brought to you by Akrito and it takes 15 minutes. Enjoy. Okay, we will begin creating a line. I will make a four-shaped line for each and every part of the shape. I have to make all the shapes from four vertices because I want to make sure that the work will be easy when I switch to editable poly. The process will be simple. I will start creating a rough shape with line, attach it in the same editable group, and now I will create more lines to make the intermediate part. I will use vertex snap for this. Okay, something like this. Okay, and now I need another line in the top. I'll create line here, and then I will use refine with connect and linear to create another line. Make sure that you don't place it under the current vertex. I want to make sure that it's somewhere in between the line and not on one vertex. Now I will add the surface modifier. I want to see how it looks. I will increase the threshold so no vertices will merge. And now I can easily add edit patch, and now I can easily move the vertices in 3D. I can move the vertices in 3D space, and I can manipulate their handles. This is very useful for modeling organic shapes, edit patch. Okay, now I'll constantly look at the images from all sides. But before I do that, I want to apply the symmetry modifier because I want to see how the shape will look in the entire shape will look. What I need, I think I will apply a shell modifier. So I have so the shape has thickness. Okay, maybe move those a little bit. Okay, maybe something like this. Now I want to add the shell modifier. The shell modifier should be under symmetry modifier. So symmetry is on top. Now just adjust the thickness. Okay, maybe something like this. I'm using shell and symmetry modifier only to see how the end result will look like. It's easier for me to understand the shape when working on it when I see the entire result. I want to see it with symmetry and with thickness. Now I'll just continue adjusting the handles and the vertices position until I have a good shape. Okay, so this process, I find this process very easy to work with. So I began with a line. I applied surface modifier, then edit patch modifier. Edit patch allows me to work on a handle sub-selection, and this is a very powerful tool, but it's also limited. So when I'm done working with edit patch, I will apply an edit poly modifier and continue modeling from there. Edit poly is much more powerful and it has so many things. And it's easy to work with. We'll just continue adjusting the patches at this point. Okay. Now I think it will be a good idea if I work on each and every handle separately. Looking at the reference images from different angles and then adjusting the handles so they match those images. Okay, now edit patch will produce some errors, but we'll take care of those using edit poly. Okay, I'll make the shell less thick. Okay, just make sure that all the handles look better in look good in all orthogonal views, in the front view, the left view, and the top view. It's very important to have a correct shape at the end of the edit patch phase before you apply edit poly. Okay, I think it looks pretty much good at this point. Okay, maybe a little more adjustments. Okay, something like that. I want to make all the lines run very smoothly from one place to another. Okay, so at this point I want to see how I want to apply smoothing groups. Different smoothing groups for those two selections really have to have another smoothing group. Okay, so now things look quite good. I have a basic rough shape. Now what I want to see is how the edit patch works and how it subdivides each patch. I want to split in to match the texture, so I'll use a high number of subdivision when dividing the patch. Okay, so back. I want to use a number of 10 view steps. Okay, so all these will become an edit poly vertex, each and every point. Now I don't want all those lines, I want to erase them. Okay, just loop. Use Ctrl on your keyboard and press remove. Using Ctrl you will make sure that you remove the vertices as well. Okay, select those two. If you notice, there is an artifact in there, in that part, and I erased all those edges because I want to make sure that there isn't any error. And anyway, there are too many edges on such a small place. Okay, I'll just keep on adjusting. If you notice, I can go back anytime to edit patch and just keep adjusting the tangents, but I can now work on the general form with edit poly also. Okay, I will select this ring and go to polygon subselection. I want to make sure that these areas are in a separate smoothing group, because I want to try mesh smooth with smoothing group on. Now it looks quite good. Okay, I will create a clone of the entire element. I will work on the back part now. I don't want the shell modifier is not enough for what I'm trying to do here, so I'll have to create the back part of the model separately. That's why I've duplicated the shape. Okay, now I've selected all the edges. Okay, now I can easily work on this duplicate mesh. Now I want to make okay, so first I'm going to adjust the smoothing groups. I'm going to detach this part and work on it separately. What I want to do is I want to connect more segments here, and I want to extrude them so they look like the inner part of the building. I don't want to extrude also this lower part, so I'm going to just detach it. Now just extrude, adjust the base width so all the vertices collapse. Okay, so now just give it a little bit of height. Okay, something in this area. Okay, so remember we were working on the lower part, on the inner part of the building. Okay, so we have those nerves. Okay, something like this it should be. Okay, now I'm going to work on the lower part, just extrude this part so it looks like the base. Okay, this is perfect. Now, if only I can work on this. Okay, I'm just going to hit auto smooth to make sure that all the polygons are smoothed correctly, because I want to use mesh smooth or turbo smooth on top of it. Okay, so it looks pretty much good. Now what I want to do is just copy and paste the symmetry modifier so it works on both ends. Okay, so we have a pretty much good shape for now. Now the same thing applies for the back part. We've only worked on the front part, so the same will go for the back part as well and for the middle part. But these are not so important at this point because we're only going to do an external rendering, so things won't be that visible. I want to make sure I weld all those vertices, because remember we used extrude and there are a lot of vertices that just overlap. Okay, and just chamfer those vertices so they don't have such a sharp end. Okay, maybe something like that. And again with the weld, and here we are. Just chamfer. Maybe a lower value. Okay, so now it looks pretty much rounded, so it's better. Okay, so this is pretty much it. I'm going to apply the same mesh smooth instanced in both parts. So when one is working, I can easily change both of them. I can change the mesh smooth and the symmetry modifier because they are instanced. Okay. Just to instance it. Symmetry should be below mesh smooth, or no. Okay, so it looks pretty much good. I don't want symmetry to weld my mesh because I want a clear edge in the top, so I just give it a threshold of 0. Now I'm going to add a material. Now what I want to do, I want to use UVV map on face, so now I can use a tile map, and if you look closely, there is each tile will fit in every polygon. So I'll make a tile of one by one, so in each polygon I have one tile. Now I have a texture that looks exactly like that uses the polygon counts from the edit poly modifier. I will use this later on when I will create the materials. So I have black on grout, maybe bigger gap. Now I'm just going to control the tiles, and if you see, there are on each polygon there is one tile. Now this was made possible only by Edit Poly. So here we are, just group it, name it part 1, and we're done.